Hi everyone, welcome to Grammar and Writing Lesson 106. Let's get started with our vocabulary. Our first word is drama. Drama. This is the category of literature known as plays. So a play is a drama. You may have more often heard of this word used as kind of when somebody makes a big deal out of something. Oh, they're so full of drama. But that's because it comes from people who are acting, who are making things seem different because they are acting. It's not real. So that's kind of where it comes from. That is a drama. For example, William Shakespeare wrote drama. Our next word is epithet. Epithet. This is a term used to characterize a person or thing in either a flattering or derogatory manner. Flattering means that it compliments them, it's something nice about them. But derogatory means that it's not very nice, it's not complimentary, it's something that kind of brings them down. For example, Honest Abe was an epithet of Abraham Lincoln. So it described him, it's a term to describe him, and that would be a flattering term, saying that he's honest, he tells the truth. Our next word is flashback. Flashback. This is the narrative technique of going backward in time to cover a greater time span and give important background details in a story. So when an author is doing a flashback, they show something that has happened in the past, and it kind of just gives more insight into what's going on in the story. Gives maybe a character's background, something that happened to them in the past, explaining what they do now, things like that. For example, Esther Summerfield's flashbacks to her childhood helped the reader to understand her insecurities as a young adult. Genre. This is a form or type of literature. For example, drama is one genre and poetry is another. Gothic novel. That is a novel with mysterious, scary elements. For example, the setting of this Gothic novel is an old haunted castle. So a Gothic novel is a book that kind of has a little bit of mystery to it, a little bit scary. It's not a flat out mystery. It's just it's a little creepy in some ways. You don't fully know everything that's going on. There's a little bit of suspense to it sometimes. It's just a little scary, honestly. All right, let's practice seeing if you can put these in sentences. Fill in the blank with the correct vocabulary word. Number 1. Short stories, poems, and plays are different blank of literature. Number 2. Women in White, a blank, has a plot full of mystery and ghosts. Number 3. Stonewall Jackson, a Confederate general during the Civil War, acquired his blank because of his unflinching courage, meaning that his courage never failed, he never backed away from something, he was always courageous. Number 4. With the use of blank, the protagonist's motivation began to make sense. Number 5. A musical, such as My Fair Lady, is often performed live as a blank. All right, let's check it. Number 1, short stories, poems, and plays are different genres of literature. Number 2, Women in White, a Gothic novel, has a plot full of mystery and ghosts. Remember, plot is like the main idea of the story. Number 3, Stonewall Jackson, a Confederate general during the Civil War, acquired his epithet because of his unflinching courage. His epithet is Stonewall Jackson. His name is not Stonewall, but because he was like a stone wall, he couldn't be scared off from doing the right thing, they called him Stonewall Jackson. With the use of flashbacks, the protagonist's motivation began to make sense. Remember, the protagonist is kind of like the main character in the story. And number 5, a musical such as My Fair Lady is often performed live as a drama. Okay, so today's lesson is just a review page. So you'll need to look at your pages about these particular types of verbs. There's a lot of different verbs that we've been going over, how to use correctly, irregular verbs or maybe specialty verbs. So you're going to be practicing with that in this lesson. So think E, the first thing you have, says if the verbs in each sentence are used correctly, write correct in the blank. If a verb is not used correctly, underline the error and write the correct form in the blank. Change main verbs, not helping verbs. So if you're looking at something and you feel like the helping verb is wrong because the helping verb is singular but the main verb is plural, that means that it's actually the main verb that should be singular to match the helping verb. Okay? All right, let's look at number 1. Can I go to the store with Susan? Okay, your verb is can go. Can go is okay with I can go, it agrees. But should you say can or should you say may? You should say may because can asks if you have the physical ability to do it, whereas may is asking for permission. You're not asking if you have the ability to get up on your own 2 legs, walk out the door, and go to the store. You're asking if you have permission to do that. Number 2, the balloon burst when it hit the ceiling. Is burst the correct verb? Yes, it is. It should not be busted or anything like that. The verb is burst. Number 3, Tom Sawyer snuck out of the house one night with Huck. What's your verb? Snuck. Very good. Is snuck the correct verb? Today I sneak, yesterday I snuck. No, snuck is incorrect. What should it be? Sneaked. Very good. That one can be a tricky one because snuck sounds fine and sneaked, not so much. But really, sneaked is the correct verb. Number 4, our cat drug a mouse it had caught into the house. Okay, had caught is fine, but how about drug? Today I drag, yesterday I drug. No, a drug is like medicina. This should be dragged. Dragged. Again, that's a tricky one. Number 5, I brought the letter to the post office on the corner. Correct or incorrect for brought? Write your answer on the line. Let's see what you got. Took. Took would be correct. Why would took be correct instead of brought? Think about it. Brought means that something is coming to where you are. You can't, but took is when you go somewhere with something. So you are not already in the post office bringing in the mail. You're taking it from where you are to the post office. So really, took is the correct verb to use. Okay, now you're going to do numbers 6 through 10 on your own. Your next section is a look it up section. Writers know the value of exact verbs. Use your dictionary to help you identify the exact verb to replace the expression in color. Write its letter in the blank. So this is what you need to do. You'll need to look up definitions. You all have access to phones and things. If you need to get special permission to access your phone for this, then you need to get that special permission. If your parents need to ask me to double check, that's fine. But you need to look at your sentence. For example, number 1, The fans' voices gradually fell to their normal levels after having risen in the excitement. Okay, you have in color the part where it says gradually fell all the way to excitement. Gradually fell to their normal levels after having risen in the excitement. So now you want to look over here at this list. Which verb expresses that? Annihilated, chafe, compensate, expounded, forsaken, hoard, perforate, reminisce, subsided, usurped. Now you might be thinking, I have no idea, Miss Ashley. Those are all very strange looking verbs to me. Okay, so what you need to do is find one that you think it might be. Look it up. If yes, its definition matches, it's not going to be word for word, but if it matches the idea in the color, then that's the correct verb. If it doesn't match, then you need to keep searching. So I want you to do that right now. Find the one that you think would be it, pause your video, and go look it up. Okay, you should be back now from having looked it up. What did you get? You should have gotten I subsided. Subsided. So they gradually fell to their normal levels after having risen in the excitement. Subsided is the idea of something's gone up and then it comes back down slowly. Number 2, squirrels store up nuts in concealed places for the winter months. So we're looking for the verb that means store up in concealed places. I know that it's not subsided because I've already used subsided. But what could it be? It's not subsided. I'm just going to mark through it like this. Okay. Annihilated, chafe, compensate, expounded, forsaken, hoard, perforate, reminisce, or usurped. There might be some verbs that are more familiar to you than others, so you might use that to help you guess. Look it up and then come back. Okay, store up in concealed places is F, hoard. Very good. Hopefully you got that one. Number 3, the dictator unlawfully seized for himself the powers of the king. So we're looking for the word that means unlawfully seized for himself. Annihilated, chafe, compensate, expounded, forsaken, perforate, reminisce, or usurped. Find what you think it is, look it up. If it's not right, try another one. Okay, if you have not paused your video and you're still looking, pause your video now. I'm going to give you the answer. Unlawfully seized for himself is usurped. Usurped. When a leader comes into power, when they shouldn't be. They take it away from somebody else. Number 4, did you remember to make sufficient payment to the waiter for the good service we received? So when you pay your waiter because they treated you well and gave you good service, what do we call that? Is that annihilated, chafe, compensate, forsaken, or expounded, perforate, reminisce? Okay, go look it up. Pause your video if you need more time. All right, to make sufficient payment is to C, compensate. And the last one we're going to do together, number 5. This machine can make small round holes in a line on the postage stamps to make them tear easily. So you're looking for the word that means to make small round holes in a line to make them tear easily. Pause your video if you have not paused it and found your answer yet. All right, I'm going to give you your answer. To make small round holes in a line and to make them tear easily is to G, perforate. Okay, you're halfway done. You only have 5 answers left, so that should make it even easier. Now you only have 6 through 8 on my screen, but you actually have 6 through 10 in your homework. So what is your homework? It's to complete Language C, page 135. You just have the last 5 problems on the page, or excuse me, on Thinky, and the last 5 problems in this exercise. That's all you got to do. Have a great day, guys. Love you very much. Bye.